Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome in to one more episode of the BeBall Jones podcast. And I am BeBall Jones. That is the reigning Peach Belt Conference Defensive Player of the Year, and Nelson Haskins. What's up, man?
What's going on, bro? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. What about you?
I'm doing great, man. Getting better every day.
Hey, progress is on the go, man.
Hey, boy. Dang, I wish I had the shirt on. Well, I started to do this anyway. I wish I had the shirt on. Progress is all the goal.
Yeah, man. I ain't gonna promote it right now. You know, the time will come when I do promote it. Not right now. Not right now.
Thanks.
So, but the fun thing about this podcast, man, some days we get on here and we have debates. You know, some very good debates, some interesting debates, to say the least. Some days we get on here, we try to get some game. You know a little bit, I know a little bit, so we try to get a little bit that we have and just, drop a little nuggets here and there, drop a dime or two, across the board. Some days we have interviews, it's very fun. We get other people's insight, pick their brain, learn about them, whatever. But then there are days like today where we try to have more of a conversation or talk around certain things. And I think today is more of not necessarily a slept on conversation, but nobody fully talks about it enough or goes in depth about this conversation about kind of like how we treat celebrities overall, but specifically for the purpose of this podcast, how we treat, the pro players, NBA players, athletes overall. So, just bringing more of a human aspect to these people, because we're at a place, especially today's time. I can't relate to the 90s and 80s or whatever, but for our generation where we at right now, sometimes, celebrities feel so far, yet feel so close at the same time. And we lose certain aspects of things about these people and forget that they're human at the end of the day. And so that's kind of what we're going to talk about, man. Just bringing, humanizing the players and, the whole aspect of what these guys are dealing with and going through, man. And I know to some extent, you deal with that in your position. So I just want to see like where your head is at when we talk about, humanizing the players and, bringing that aspect, front and center. So when we talk about humanizing the game and humanizing players, what comes to mind for you when we talk about this?
When we talk about this, I just think more about anything. More than anything is it comes down to respect. You gotta respect people, and like you said, they still humans. At the end of the day, whether you cheer for them or you're against them, they on your team or your rival team, whatever team they play for, anything. Whether you like that player or whatever, you gotta respect people because they are people at the end of the day. And and nobody coming to your job at the bank talking about, hey man, you suck, man, count them numbers faster, man, I count better than that, this and this and this. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody doing that to you at your job. But because I play for such and such team over here, now all of a sudden, you got all this to say about me. So it just come down to respect. And I see both sides of it because I'm a fan of the game too. So I ain't gonna sit there and act like I don't never say nothing bad about a player, but I would never disrespect a player. And there's a line, you can say something is bad. I think you got to be objective. Like if somebody had a bad game, they had a bad game. Somebody not playing well over time, they're not playing well. Whatever. It's okay to say. Like state facts. Let me say that. State facts. Man, so and so ain't shooting the ball good. So and so ain't been playing very well. So and so turned the ball over too much. Whatever. It's okay to say that because them is facts. That's true. But to start saying stuff like, man, this dude suck, trade him, get him off the team, calling them names, calling him out his name, whatever, all that stuff, that's disrespectful. And that's the line. There's a line in between that. So you can be objective without being disrespectful. And I'm always going to side with players on this one because it's like at the end of the day, man. Hey, I play basketball. All right. So you going, but like when this game over with, I'm still gonna be a man. When I leave this arena, I'm gonna be a man. For them guys, I'm gonna still be a father. I'm gonna still be a husband. Whatever. I'm grown. So you gonna talk to me like you gonna talk to me with some respect, like a grown man. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't finna just say whatever to me. Yeah. Everything gonna be cool. Because it's basketball. Because I play basketball. Like, no, that's not how this works, bro. When I put this ball down, when I take the jersey off and these shoes, I am a man, just like you and everybody else walking around. You know what I'm saying? So it's just respect at the end of the day, man. Gotta respect players at the end of the day. And if you're gonna heckle somebody, get on their case, it need to be a line in that, like from heckling to respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's all it come down to, really, man. So next time you all at a game talking trash to the other players, just think about like, man, is what I'm saying like heckling or like joking in a joking way, or am I being disrespectful to him? So him or her, because it go both ways. So that's all it come down to me, though, man. So what you think?
Yeah, that's literally like respect is what I was gonna say too. At the end of the day, um, I feel like there is a line where people start to cross it, but I feel like from player to player, that line kind of moves, if that makes sense. So
Mm,
there's some people who will tolerate certain stuff. Like you can say, like how we grow up, bro. You can say whatever about me, bro. I'm talking about my mom. Like that's you can talk about my mom, like whatever.
facts.
Like that's almost a death threat, bro. Like you talking about my mom. Like that's just a no, big
Big
no.
no no.
So like we you asking for some trouble doing that. And for some
Hmm.
people, it's like, hey, talk about me or my mama. Like, don't talk about me. Talk about my mama. Don't talk about my kids. Like, there is a unwritten but written rule when trash talking. It's you and me. It's the game. Don't talk about my kids.
Hmm.
Don't talk about my wife. Don't talk about my mama, family. All that stuff is out the window. Don't talk about that. You cross that line for me. Now we have a true issue, and it's man to man now. Uh, and I feel like for some people, it's like, hey, anything's on the board, whatever that gets you rattled. You know what I mean? Like some people are trash talking. It's like, uh, I'll say what needs to be said to get you rattled and off your game. So that line move for certain people. But at the end of the day, you should have a level of respect. So respect changes from player to player, person to person. But that's more between the lines. That's combative. Like my team versus your team, I'm trying to say over to shake you. You feel me? But you still cross that line with me. I still don't like that. But I understand the psychology behind it. At the end of the day, you're not trying to attack me as a man, as a person. You're strictly doing this within the realm of competition. So there's a level of respect I do have for you doing that, even though I don't like that, I don't agree with that, but I understand, I get it. When it comes to fans doing that, that's going too far for me personally. I get it. You're still coming within that same realm of trying to shake this player because you want your team to win so bad. But the difference is I can go do something to this guy. I can lock him up. I can score on him to where I can shut all that up. I can't do anything to you. Well, legally, I can't do anything to you. But that's the difference. I can do something, but I might not be able to play my next game and I'll be in somebody's jail cell. So, that's the difference. But I feel like I understand. Just because I understand don't mean I agree. So for me personally, I'm not a huge trash talker. I will talk trash, but that's not what I do. I'm just here to hoop. So at the end of the day, it's about respect. I'm not gonna talk to you crazy because I want you talking to me crazy. So that's what at the end of the day, that's where you have to, draw that line. So I'm fine with you booing, I'm fine with a little heckling, I'm fine with all this stuff. Boo, you suck. All right, cool, whatever. When you start going way left of that, it's like, whoa, like forget this jersey, forget these shoes, forget this arena. That is a man sitting there at the end of the day.
Hmm.
Like he has kids at home, or shoot, probably courtside, hearing you say this stuff. My wife, my girlfriend, fiance, my mom, my sisters are hearing you say this about me. Like what? Where your wife at? Let me go talk to her the same way you talking to me. You feel away. So it's just like this put the full lens in perspective when we're talking about trash talking or whatever when it comes to these players, because people forget sometimes that there's a line right there and you cross that line like shoot third quarter, where like we in the fourth quarter now and you crossed that line a long time ago. So I just feel like people lose that aspect of like yes, it's okay to talk crazy a little. Well, not talk crazy, but it's okay to talk your trash and everything. Don't talk crazy to me. Like keep it respectful, but somewhere that they cross that line and it's like, oh, I'm just being a fan with it. No, bro, you crossed the line, man. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
weird, man. And feel like people get too entitled with stuff and they lose, like you said, outside of respect. But it just comes down to respect at the end of the day.
Facts, man. Especially when it get physical. Like when fans start throwing drinks and pouring beers on people, throwing popcorn, throwing all type of stuff on players. I'm like, dog. I don't know, man. I don't know. Somebody do me like that, dog. Like, I don't know. That just, man, that just seemed crazy to me. Like, that you just poured this drink on me or threw a drink on me, threw food at me, and like think everything just okay, bro. Like, I just can't
Mm-hmm.
slide with that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I cannot let that slide. Like, for you to just think you finna just throw stuff at me
Mm-hmm.
because I play for your team or whatever, or against your team, or if I play for your team and I play bad or something. Like
Yeah.
you want to boo, you want to say you suck, like you said, all that, bro. That's one thing. That's fine. That's just the confines of the game. But don't throw nothing at me. Don't like you said. I am a person. Like should nothing touch me. Let me say that.
Mm-hmm.
These words can go in and out my ear, but should nothing touch my body. Not you, not your food, not your drink, nothing. Should nothing touch me.
Mm-hmm.
Like personally. I feel like that's like very like the most disrespectful thing. One of the most disrespectful things you do is throw food at me and jump. You know what I'm saying? Like where do they do that? Who does that?
Yeah.
Like who raised y'all to be throwing food on people? A person. You know, it's just crazy to me. I could never do that. Like I don't see how folks okay with that. Throwing their food and drinks and stuff on another player. Like that's insane. Like fans definitely cross the line here and there, but you know, and I'm a guy like I play like you know what I'm saying I'm a player. I've been heckled by the crowd many times, obviously. Like it ain't never like it ain't like I just never the crowd ain't never just said nothing to me.
Mm-hmm.
But like, and I'll be real with y'all, like, shoot, I play with goggles on. You know what I'm saying? Like sports goggles. I mean, it's kind of easy to get on the dude with the goggles. That's like the easier one to go for. You know what I'm saying? Especially when
Yeah.
I was in high school, like just be real, you know, I got goggles, I got big feet, I'm long and skinny. You know what I'm saying? People used to get on my case here and there. It's like, so that part of the game. Like that's kind of how you know that's how it is. Like that part of the game. But never did I feel like, you know, folks were just going crazy, OD, disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Never. And
Yeah.
like it's always been like kept in the realm of basketball. Like, hey, that boy, the guy will suck this and this and this, that's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like they talk, that's fine. I can handle that though. I can handle that. But ain't nobody ever threw nothing at me. Ain't nobody ever called me nothing out my name. None like that to my face at least. So I just ain't going for it. Like ain't nothing you can say to me to justify it. Like how you
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
sometimes they try to be like, I'm just being a fan or whatever. Like, no, bro, you being crazy right now.
Yeah.
Like like I said, somebody could come to your job and do that jump, you'd be like, bro, what's wrong with you? Like, if somebody threw popcorn at you at your desk in the morning, talking about, man, you suck, you'd be like, bro, what? What is wrong? You'd be ready to fight.
Yep. Yep.
So, man, I can't go for it, bro. Like, respect people, man. Respect these guys, man, what they do. I don't care who they play for, or how bad or how good they play. Respect them as people more than anything. You say what you
Yeah.
want to a certain extent, but the physical stuff is no. Like that's a no no. Should nothing touch me as a person.
Honestly, I try not to get too deep on the podcast because this ain't the platform for that. But I will in
Mm,
this episode, and I feel like the NBA, NFL is 80% black. Probably more somewhere around there.
mm,
And so, whether people admit it or not, more than likely they don't. A race component is obviously a factor in there, man. And America is obviously what 80% white. So there's a good chance that we're consuming the product, which is the NBA game, is predominantly white fans. NBA tickets are pretty expensive. White people have more money, so the fans affording these games to be close enough to be courtside to really throw or yell something to be heard, more than likely are closer to that white side of things, right? So it goes back to the mindset of like fans have a little level of entitlement to say, I hate when people say this, bro. They're like, I'm paying for, I'm paying your check right now because you wouldn't be able to do what I do right now if it wasn't for me paying this ticket to do that. And I'm like, there's like 2% level of truth in that. There's 2% truth, but there's a 98% factor that you're not thinking about. Your couple $100 ticket, even $1,000 ticket, is what 5 minutes of my game check. Like, you want that? I get my homegirl right now to go back to my locker to the locker room and give you that money right back, bro. Like what are we talking about here? Like,
And you can go.
please, like smooth, like quick and effortlessly, bro. Like, there's no issue here. If that's what you want to say, then cool, you can have that back. So the level of entitlement to say I'm paying your check, are you really? My check does not say whatever your name is, random fan in seat A6. Like, that's not what we're doing here. So, if I'm Luca, my check says Mark Cuban on there. Like, that's who pays my check. That's who does this. So,
Mm.
um, but yeah, like there's a level of racism that does play a role in this, whether people want to admit it or not, because the white fans have a level of entitlement to say these black people are inferior to me, and I have the right to do X, Y, and Z. So I can say what I want to, I can throw what I want to, whatever. We've seen this time and time again in certain arenas. Like I've heard plenty of players say how Utah's one of the least favorite places to play because they talk so wild out there, bro. And Boston's not too far behind. It's like
Hmm.
Utah and Boston, and other people on there. And I hate that, bro. Like that's really like I'm a Celtics fan, bro, and it's like that bothers me, bro. Like I remember getting to a place where I was like, dang, is that wild over there? Like, can I be a fan of Boston, bro? Like cause I'm a black dude, bro. That bothers me, man. So like it got to a place where it's like that's really how a lot of fans think. It's like it's not just one or two people, it's really a big group of that. And so race does play a big role in that because people have this entitlement aspect dealing with their race. And so I really think some people see it as we're at a zoo. So you're here to entertain me, and part of this is going to exhibit. And I'm throwing popcorn at the monkeys. I'm throwing popcorn to the lions. I want to see the reaction if I can throw this at a bear, see if they're gonna roar at me. Because I'm protected behind this cage. I'm protected behind the NBA saying that players have to respect fans and you can't do X, Y, and Z. This ain't football, bro. Where this is this big wall I got to jump over, and this ain't hockey where I got to worry about this big glass wall between us. No, I can walk into the stands. We've all seen Palace and the Matters, bro. I can walk into the stands right now. We can have this conversation right here. Like, y'all forget, bro. LeBron is a full 6'8", 260. If he can
Hmm.
fight or not, that punch will hurt. Like, I just want people to realize that. Like,
Facts.
like these dudes are strong, but they get paid to work out. Now, how many of them work out? How often they work out? But you forget the fact, bro. Like these dudes are strong. Like come on now. So I think it's a level of racism that goes into it, man. That when you talk about dehumanizing things, that goes back to the whole conversation of race and how black people are viewed, and whether they want to admit it or not, there is a level of that dealing with this topic. So um, yeah, that's part one of getting deep on this episode, man. So I feel like race. I got another thought, a theory behind this too, man. But I feel like race does play a big role in that because there's just this mindset that they have that I'm superior. I don't have to abide by these rules, and I'm not affected by these consequences. I don't have the consequences to these actions that I have. So that's one thought that I have behind why you see a lot of players deal with this, because it's just tied to race. Like it's predominantly black folks hooping in the NBA, man. So um, I want to see how you feel about that. If you know agree or disagree, or whatever. I just want to see how you feel about that.
No, you definitely got a major point. I mean, obviously, it ain't all every like bad fan ain't fueled by racism. I don't like,
Yeah.
nah, that's not true either. But there are definitely, you said it though. Like even players have said, like places like Utah and Boston are a little bit worse than other places when it comes to race and stuff. So it does definitely happen. And you hit the nail on the head when you said it's like they feel like they're in the zoo. Like these players are here to entertain me, and they don't see them as people. They see them as entertainment. Like you said, they throwing
Mm-hmm.
popcorn at the lions, whatever, trying to see what happens. Like you know what I'm saying? That these are people though. Like yeah, they are meant for entertainment. Like the players are playing the game for your entertainment, but at the same time, like they people. These ain't animals. These ain't animals in the zoo. These ain't fish in an aquarium. None of
Yep.
that. At the end of the day, they finna take their stuff off and go home with their wives and kids and families. So it's like thinking of them as just entertainment, just for you, that's crazy. And like you said, basketball, one of sports, like it ain't football where fans 50 feet away from the nearest player behind the stands. And it ain't baseball where I got this big old net and this fence and like y'all 20 yards away. It ain't soccer. It ain't tennis, hockey where they got the big wall. Like none of that. Basketball, we right here. Like
Mm-hmm.
I say the ball from going out of bounds, I'm finna hit a fan. Like I'm finna run into
Yep.
another person.
Yep.
Like we close. So please don't do nothing to make me have to get close to you. Cause I can if I needed to. And I ain't no violent person or nothing like that.
Yeah.
But like a person, like you said, we seen the malice in the palace. But it threw that beer on Ron Artest. And I guess he didn't think Ron was gonna come see about him. Like Ron said, "Oh no, I'm finna go and walk up these steps, my boy."
Yep. Yep.
and you feel me when you look at it objectively. Of course, that was a big like black eye on the league. It was terrible for the league. It looked bad, all that good stuff. Yeah, but when you look at it and you like just watch what happened, Ron sitting on the table like this, chilling, hands behind the head, like he on the table. He talking about. I remember watching the documentary that came out on Netflix a while back. He said, "My therapist told me when I
Mm-hmm.
get angry to step away and count to 10 or whatever." Like
Yep.
Ron trying to do what the therapist told him to do. Here come this out of nowhere fan, random fan, throw a beer on my boy while he trying to count to 10.
Yep.
So, like, what you want him to do at that point? You thought he was
Yep.
gonna let it go? And like, nowadays I feel like a lot of players have a little more control. A lot of players have more control than Ron did. But you can't expect everybody when you do some crazy stuff like that to go get security. Like, yeah, go and get him out of here. You
Mm-hmm.
can't expect everybody to do that. I remember Braun did that to a fan sitting courtside one time. He was like, "Hey man, get him up out of here." Some people, some
Yeah.
players good enough to do that. Some players can stay composed enough to do that. Like, oh, he talking crazy over here. Yeah, go and get him out of here, y'all, please. Some players gonna come answer that problem themselves.
Yep.
Cause like we said, that's another person. They finna come solve it right now. Oh, you said what? Hold on, stay right there.
All right.
I'm
Let me
finna
hear
go
you.
see.
Let me hear you a little bit clearer. I can't hear all the way back there. Let me hear you.
I'm saying, bro. Folks don't understand that though. So that's all it is, man. So yeah, definitely racism has played a part in a lot of that stuff. But that would probably be my biggest advice to a fan. Like, don't think every player gonna be composed enough to be like, "Hey, security, he did this or she said this." Everybody not. Some people
Yep.
gonna come on and solve that problem themselves, and you're
Yep.
gonna be looking sad. So that's nah, don't do that, dog. Don't expect that out of everybody.
So mental toughness is one of the biggest things that I know pretty much every coach preaches to the players, and also one of the biggest factors in the players' game is the mental toughness. So I know that a lot of coaches wish their players would be mentally tougher, and they struggle with teaching them and understanding, what mental toughness is to apply it to the game. So to help you guys out, I wrote a whole ebook breaking down what mental toughness is, different factors that make up what mental toughness is, and different ways that you can apply it to your life and your game, because it's a good blend of the player and the person of how both sides of you can grow in your mental toughness. So I broke it down in the ebook, the Mental Toughness Playbook. The whole ebook is about 50 pages, a little less than 50 pages, easy to read, a simple breakdown of what mental toughness is, different factors and different areas in it that impact your mental toughness, and how you can grow and develop in there. So if you're interested in it, send the description below. So go ahead and look in the hit that link and invest into yourself by investing into your mindset and mental toughness. Because I personally believe that your brain and your mind is so much powerful than you give it credit. So invest into your mindset, and then your body will follow afterwards. So the Mental Toughness Playbook, get the ebook below. If you tune into it, thank you. I appreciate it. If not, it's fine. Get back to the rest of the episode. See you later. Yeah, that's where Westbrook gift came from, where fan talking to him crazy, and he just like, y'all hear him? Like, he talking crazy. Like, that's where that whole thing came from. Fan talking crazy to him, and he like, yo, get your man's over here, cause like, either y'all handle that or I handle that. And that's what I'm pretty sure, like, NBA players are all like that. Like, yo, security, y'all get him for somebody else do. And like that, let's end that. Cause I guarantee, if it's funny, NBA players say this all the time, man. Like, y'all be talking so crazy from the stands, but y'all like don't realize that these aren't average human beings. Like, Steph Curry, yeah, he looks small on the court, but he's standing next to 6'7" and 7 foot guys all day. Yeah, he gonna look small. But 6'3" is not small. Yeah, he looked tiny, compared to a bigger, thicker Draymond, but that boy put on, like, Steph Curry is in the weight room, bro. Like, he's strong.
I
Like
promise you, he is.
there were times in the finals last year where it was like, yo, he dropping and he ain't getting bumped that hard. Like, I know, like, the average person probably don't realize that and see it, but like, as hoopers, we know, bro. Like, Steph Curry driving, he ain't getting bumped off his path. Like, that boy pretty tough. Like, yeah, Kyrie he look kind of slim and everything, but when he driving to the goal, you ain't bumping him off his path, bro. Like, he might curve out a little bit because it's just hooping, but he ain't moving. Like, he ain't just flying out through the court, bro. Like, he got some strength to him, bro. And that strength can be transferred in different ways if want to be tested. So I feel like fans should, remember that these dudes are training and working in the weight room for a living. So yeah, I might look small, but I can push some weight when it comes to the weight room stuff, man. So uh, I ain't trying to say I'm trying to like be like all NBA players are fighters or nothing, but let's just remember that some of these dudes don't come from the best environments where fighting isn't abnormal. You just keep that in mind sometimes too. But another factor that I think plays a role into like the dehumanization of players is basically social media. Technology plays a big role in that. Between social media and 2K, I feel like we strip down players from being a human. Social media, because like I said before, celebrities and stuff feel so far away, but yet so close, because I've never seen Kevin Durant in person in my life. But if I wanted to, I can be like, tweet at KD Trey, whatever his Twitter handle is, and I can get a response from him. And I can have a back and forth. Like, KD is known to respond, KD Trey 5, whatever his name is. And yeah, so he can respond back, and I can get a reaction out of him. So now people get to a place where it's like, oh man, let me see what I can say to get a response from Kevin Durant. More than likely, my thought process is, say something nice to compliment him, he probably ain't gonna say nothing too much. Just let me find the most outlandish, craziest thing to say that can get a response, that can get me on overtime, on Sports Center or whatever. Like, that's really how people think. I would not be surprised if a lot of people actually sit there and thought, I want to get some attention. Let me talk crazy to somebody. But they don't forget once again the ramifications of this being a human being on the other side of here. Like my mom sees your tweet, bro. Like for real, that's what we're doing here. Like my kids are on Twitter too. Like they're posting stuff on social media that they can see. So you talking crazy. If it's just me, okay, cool. But you don't realize I'm a human being at the end of the day. Number one. Then number two, the funniest part, bro. Folks have Twitter fingers, man. You talking all crazy through this phone. But if you saw me in person, you would be kissing my butt. Oh man, Katie, I'm your biggest fan, bro. Like, oh, Russ, I love you, man. Didn't you just call me Westbrook online? No, man. That was a typo, bro. Come on now, typo. You and Skip can get out of here, man. Like, it's folks just be talking so crazy, man. But in person, you are the biggest. You kissing a butt up and down, man. Like, but you talking crazy. You got Twitter fingers. So I think folks forget that a little bit too. And like going back to 2K, my last point is like I think sometimes people forget that when players have injuries, it's not like 2K to where, oh man, Kawhi been out for a year, he got hurt for the season. I can just restart the game and Kawhi be back just like that. And he good, he can hoop. Oh man, I traded KD to the Warriors, so and I went 82-0, so they can do this in real life too. Like whoa, time out. This ain't 2K, bro. Like I don't even know who can. Like think about it as if let me think of somebody. I don't know, but a role player who doesn't know Kevin Durant. Like, I don't personally know you have a connection with you, so I have to figure out how to work with you, how to play with you, whatever. Steph and them, they more cool with him, whatever. But it's like I don't know who you are as a man. So yeah, you might be able to hoop. That's it. But I don't know you as a man. I have to figure out how you work and how you mesh to be able to make this work. It ain't 2K
Mm.
where you just go play on the game and then you play the next game, you play the next game, and you just keep it pushing. So I feel like people forget that sometimes where in real life I have an injury, I need to actually recover from it as a human being going through an injury. Like I'm not just going through surgery and I'm patched up and I'm okay. No, my knee actually hurts, bro. Like I have struggled walking up and down the stairs every day. I struggle getting out my car. I can't get out the bed now because I had surgery on my knee. Or just go get surgery, you'll be all right. Surgery, bro. Like, hold on, I gotta get gassed and knocked out. Like, this is my body we're worrying about here. So I feel
I
like
got to
people
think
forget
about
about that.
this.
Yeah, like it's easy if wow, you go get surgery, you be back in 2 months. Whoa, time out. Like, I gotta do what? Oh, okay. Like that sounds good on paper. Like, oh, beautiful. Go get surgery. You'll be cleaned up and recover. Go to therapy and be back in 4 months. Okay. Like you said, I gotta think about it. So when folks don't aren't that thinking the full process through, they think 2K. Jamal Murray's hurt. He should be able to return in 6 months. So 6 months he'll be back, and we'll be back to averaging 28 points a game. Like, no, bro, that's not how this works.
It's not
And
how it
so
goes.
when people do think about the game, it's like, well, why ain't he performing well? He sucked. He trash. He's washed up. Bro, I just missed the whole year because I was hurt. Give me a couple games to get my rhythm going. Oh, Lakers trash. They got Westbrook, all this stuff. They trash. Bruh, I don't know how to play with these guys yet. I'm a human being. Give me 40 games to just rather than just 20. And that's just kind of how it goes. But people don't, to me, non-hoopers, bro, talking about the game, number one, and then people who don't have the understanding of the human aspect of it, speak on the game too, man. But I feel like, the technology part of social media and 2K has a big effect on, not seeing these players as humans and we see them as robots instead. So it's like that affects, or plays a big impact in like dehumanizing the plays and celebrities, man. So that's my other theory behind, why they're not seen as human beings.
Man, that's two more solid points, man. Like, so two things. So, like, number one, social media do definitely take a lot of the respect away from guys. Because, like you said, I might never run into LeBron. I might never run into KD, never run into Steph Curry. I might never see them with my actual eyes. I might never speak to them with my actual words, anything like that. But I can at them at any point in time. I can always be in their comments, whatever. And people in the world really feel like they're like talking to them, even if they don't respond. It's like, because you see it, especially Twitter. Twitter the worst. Like
Yep.
KD say something on Twitter, anything. It might not have nothing to do with basketball. He might say something about just anything. You can tweet anything. First comment under the win a real ring, KD. Like what? But people do that. Like people
Yeah.
really do that. So it makes people like the whole social media aspect makes people feel like they can say whatever they want to say because they hide behind the screen. It's like, sure, like I don't think KD didn't want a real ring. I'm finna let them know. Folks got
Mm-hmm.
KD Twitter notifications on just to say that. Same for like LeBron, Steph, Giannis, like the best players. They got their notifications on just so they can hop on there and say some crazy stuff. Oh, he talking. So it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So that definitely is part of it. Like they feel like people feel like they can say whatever they want to say to people now, when they know for a fact they would never say that to them in real life.
Yep.
And then the whole injury thing, I definitely side with this one too, because it's like I think back to D Rose situation. I
Mm-hmm.
remember when Rose was coming back from the first ACL, and it was playoff time because he missed the whole year, and then like it was playoff time, and the Bulls really messed him over. And if you ask me, because they put it out there that he was healthy and he could play. So
Mm-hmm.
now fans is like, shoot, they said he healthy, like he should be playing. Rose like,
Yep.
nah, I don't feel right. Like I'm not gonna play. Fans like, bro, why Rose don't want to play? This and this and this. Next day or next game, same thing. Like, yeah, he healthy. He good to go. Like he can play. Rose and he had the warm ups for the game. He having a full warm up, and then warm ups over. He like, nah, like I don't feel right. I can't play. And I remember them times, and I'm
Yep.
looking at Rose. I'm like, man, like my first thought was, if this man, as much as he loved the game of basketball, like obviously he care about it. Yeah, I don't know D Rose personally, but just looking at him and seeing what type of guy he is, I believe he loved the game of basketball. And obviously been playing it his whole life. He in the league.
Mm-hmm.
If this man loved basketball and he out here warming up and decides he cannot play for himself, he said that. Like I know doctors and trainers probably was like, yeah, man, from what we can see, you healthy. Like your knee good enough to play on. For him to get out there and start warming up, shooting the basketball, moving around, and then when it's over, say, nah, I don't think I can play. That
Mm-hmm.
means something. That's not
A whole
nothing.
lot.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not nothing. If he said that about his own body, and I believe fully 100% in my heart that this man wanted to play. I believe he
Oh
wanted to
yeah.
play for himself. I believe he wanted to play for his team. Like, it was playoff time. I 100% believe he wanted to play. Like, he not trying to let them boys down. So, for him to go out there and try to play and then say, nah, like I don't feel right. I don't feel like I can play. That's something. That means a lot. So, and players, not players, but fans was getting on his case. They're like, man, Rose scared. He need to stop being scared and play this and this and this. I'm like, man, you tear your knee up doing the one thing that you like to do and see if you can get out there and do it again like it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? And people don't
Mm-hmm.
understand that. Like, what if you was at your office job and one day you just hit the W key and your finger broke? Like you ain't do nothing crazy. You just was typing away, click, 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 and you hit W and your index finger broke. Like broke in the whole other direction. Like your finger pointed a different way. The next
Mm-hmm.
time you touch a keyboard, you probably gonna look at the W key like, make sure this is a safe W key,
Yep.
So think about that. This man, and then the fact that if you ever watch the D Rose injury, this man ain't do nothing he ain't never did before. He drove to the lane, he jumped the pass, and somebody hit his knee, he landed wrong, done. ACL. So he ain't do nothing that he had not done probably 1,000 times. And then this one time, everything went wrong, and that's just part of it. That's part of life. You run that risk playing the game. There's a risk you get hurt every time you lace him up. He
Mm-hmm.
get hurt doing doing a move he done probably 1,000 times. You can't expect him to go out there and just act like it never happened and play like it never, like everything's the same. He got to
Mm-hmm.
ease back into it. he got to be confident in his knees and in his legs to do the move he did that got himself hurt. He got to trust that.
Yep.
And so, like I said, man, for people that got on this man case, and like I understand you might be a Chicago fan, you might really wanted them to win this and this and this, all that good stuff. I understand, but a man at the end of the day, especially somebody that loved the game of basketball, if he could have played, if you really believe he could have played, he would have played. So don't like you gotta give people some grace in that kind of stuff. Like, man, that's his body at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if this man don't feel like he can play, I'm gonna be the last one to tell him he can get out there. Like, if I'm on Rose team, I'm like, man, how you feel? If he said, man, I don't feel right, bro, I don't think I can play. I'm like, man, don't play. And don't
Yep.
play. We good. Like, bro, take care of yourself, bro. You are a human. Like, you're not a machine. It's not 2K. Just because they said you good don't mean you good.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because then, like, then there's another thing that people don't think about. If that man would have went out there after they said he was healthy and then not did nothing, y'all have been gotten on this case for that. Like, man, Rose sucked, bro. Why he even
Mm-hmm.
play? He was gonna go out there and do this. Like, that man was hurt. He trying
Yep.
to play because of y'all.
Yep. Yep.
And that ends up happening. Guys be wanting to not let the fans down and stuff. They feel pressure from the organization and stuff. And then they go out there
Mm-hmm.
and play before they ready, and then they end up sticking it up. Or they hurt
Yep.
themselves even worse. And
Yep.
now it's like, y'all have been the main ones. If people went out there and got hurt, they would have been the main ones. Like, maybe he should not have played.
Yep.
You think?
Bright idea.
Man, but when he said, I don't think I should play. Man, you scared, you soft, this and that. Man, let that man live. This is
Yeah.
life, this is body. You gotta let him figure that out. And I blame the Bulls organization for letting it be known that he was healthy. They should have
Mm-hmm.
asked him. They should have that should have been an in-house thing. Like, yeah, Rose, we think you good, man. If you can play, we think we think your knee healthy enough to play on. And then if he would have said, I don't know, I don't think I can play, we were like, well, I mean, work out on it a little bit, let us know how you feel. And then once he worked out, he said, nah, I don't think I can play. That should have been the public answer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they supposed to came to a consensus, like, oh, okay, Rose said he can't play, we're gonna put it out there. D Rose is still on the is still in physical therapy, whatever they gotta say. But this man, that was crazy. I can't lie. I felt bad. I was a young man at that point. And when Rose was going through that, I was still in high school. I was like,
Yeah.
man, no way we getting on this man case for being hurt. Like, he can't play, bro. He said he can't play. I ain't finna make nobody play if they think, especially an injury like that. Now, it's one thing this man would have turned his ankle. It's like, man, come on, bro. Put on an ankle bracelet to do it. When you
Yeah.
talking about an ACL and somebody who had surgery and hadn't played in months, and you talking about, man, stop being scared. They said you healthy. Now, this been you'd have been rubbing your knees like, I don't know. Y'all sure I'm healthy?
That's some ice out on there, like Shaq be saying.
I'm saying you would have been scared. Anybody would be scared. Like that man, he is a human. That man was scared. Like, and I understand you got to build that confidence. Like, and I knock on wood. I ain't never been through that, so
Mm.
I'm gonna be the last one to tell him what he should have did. Like, hey,
Yeah.
bro, think you're right, bro. That's what I say. Derek, I would have called that man by a real name. Derek, just do whatever is best for you, dog.
Wait. Wait. Hold on. Tell me. Hold on, real quick. I just got a quick question for you. All right. Okay. Look. So, where did you go? Like, what are you going after right now in your life? Right? Are you looking to make the team? Okay, you didn't make the team, but you're looking to figure out how to make the team coming up. Or maybe you made the team, but you're on the bench. You're not playing like you want to. Or maybe you're playing a little bit like you want to, but you're not a starter, or you're not finishing the games like you want to. Or maybe you're the player, but you're just not quite where you want to be as far as recognizing your county or maybe your conference or your state, whatever you're trying to be recognized at. Um, Whatever your goal is, I want you to forget about that. Like, put it put it on the board or something, write it down in your phone, and just put it somewhere and tuck it away. I want you to take that goal, throw it over there, and now I want you to write a new one, right? I want you to write PROGRESS. Progress. I want you to make progress your goal. Okay. So take that big goal that you have now and take it, put it in your back pocket, and just figure out how to make progress and work towards that goal. Because sometimes we get so caught up on the goal of the end goal where we want to be that we don't keep working forward and working towards that goal like we should be. So every day I want you to wake up and figure out how to just make progress. How can I be better today than I was yesterday? It's new tomorrow. The same exact thing. Figure out how can I be better today than I was yesterday. It doesn't matter how good you are or what you did yesterday. It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. Your goal today is to make progress, be better than you was yesterday. And so just if you need a reminder about that, all I want you to do is to have a reminder. I want you to go ahead and get one of these hoodies. Or you get you a t-shirt. I got a couple options for you. So get you a hoodie or a t-shirt just to remind yourself, just to keep it as a memento to be like, man, today's goal is to make progress. My only goal is to make progress. Progress is the only goal. So if that fits you and you feel like you need to make progress to be your goal, go ahead and hit the link in the description below and invest into yourself. Invest into that reminder. Treat it like an alarm clock to remind you that you need to make progress. Make sure that you're focused and being intentional about the work that you have today. So progress is the only goal. Hit the description below to invest into yourself. It's not about me. Investing into yourself to remind yourself that progress is my goal for today. So that's enough for me, man. I hope I didn't interrupt you. Get back to the episode. Yeah,
About
like
to.
I remember that too, man. And honestly, bro, like you said, I gotta blame the Bulls organization. Because think about it like this, man. From that time, if you remember the roster is Derrick Rose, Joakim Noah. I think Boozer was on the team at that time. Jimmy
Mm-hmm.
Butler, and it's like, okay, Derrick Rose says he doesn't feel good to hoop, right? So it's just Derrick Rose right here.
Mm-hmm.
Players are fine with it. Like they understand, they get it because they're in the trenches. I'm gonna come back to that in a minute too. They understand, they get it. Bulls organization says he's cleared. There's no face behind Bulls organization.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know if it's the coach, the GM, the owner, the president. You don't know who's it's the doctors. It's just Bulls organization. So if it's me, Derrick Rose taking no hits, organization takes all the hits. Like that's how I'm thinking through this. Like if I was in that position, because you don't know exactly who's Bulls organization. Owner might say, "Yeah, I want him to play, but if he can play," GM's like, "Nah, I done did too much. I done did the roster around him, and let's not do it." Coach is like, "Man, I need my guy out there because we getting out the strategy wise, we doing this and that." But at the end of the day, the average fan's not going to say, Coach Tibbs or whoever was the coach at that time. I think it's Coach Tibbs. Coach Tibbs is messing up Derrick Rose. We need to let him play. Nobody knows for sure. You can
Mm-hmm.
hide behind the shield of the organization. So they went out of pocket because now everybody from Tibbs up is looking like the bad guy in my eyes because you didn't protect Derrick Rose. You didn't protect his name behind it. You separate yourself to protect the shield of the Bulls organization. So that was kind of dirty to me, man. I don't appreciate that. But
At all.
yeah, kind of like how you were saying with the fans trying to push them to play like that's weak and stuff. I think some of that is the toxic culture around sports in general, where it's like, oh man, you can play through a little injury, man. You all right? That's the old mindset, the old school mindset that was so toxic and so unhealthy. Is like you know, uh, what's the saying? Either you're injured or you're hurt. If you're injured, sit out. If you're hurt, you can play. And there is
Mm-hmm.
some truth to that. There is some truth to that. I ain't gonna lie. Like you said, if you roll your ankle a little bit, man, go hoop, bro. You tie your shoes up, put a little ankle brace on, ice it if you need to if it's a little swole, and go hoop. Like you all right, bro. Like everybody get a little ankle roll. Like cool.
Mm-hmm.
Tearing a tendon is different. Like
Mm-hmm.
tearing a ligament is not a little ankle roll. Like you just strained it a little bit. It's different. I had to go through surgery, bro, to get this repaired. So I'm not okay. Like we said before, bro, this ain't 2K where I have an injury and I can just bounce back like that. Like people don't fully process that, man. So I think sometimes people don't remember that yes, this worked in the old school, but the new school mindset is that I don't 100% agree with this either, but guys have to feel 100% to go play. Like I don't like that. Like I
Mm.
90% of you is more than enough to get us through what we need to get through. 90%. 80% of you is good enough. 70% of you is good enough. Like 100% you dropping 30, 70% of you is dropping 21. Pretty sure we can use that 21 points. Like, come on now.
You're
Like
right
what are
though.
we talking about here? So that's what kind of bothers me sometimes with some guys. It's like, are you really injured? Are you that hurt to where you can't play? I only feel about 70%. Bruh, 70% of you is like 18, 8, and 8. What are we talking about, bruh? Like, that's you on that. That's you 70%. Triple double, like not Westbrook, but Westbrook, for example, 100% of you is triple double. 70% of you is 16, 6, and 4. What team can't use 16, 6, and 4? So give me 70% Westbrook rather than 0% Westbrook. So it's kind of, I kind of teeter with that because nobody fully knows. So leading me to my next point is that there's three tiers of recovery or like clearance to be able to play. So the first tier is doctor says, well, look at the X-ray and your muscles seem fine, your tendons and ligaments seem fine, the bone seems fine, you're clear, you play. Cool. The next level of clearance is like the how do I actually feel? Like you look at the X-ray and say fine, but I ain't feeling all the way there yet. Like I don't trust it. The next is the mental and emotional part of clearance. To what do I trust my knee? Like you said, do I trust my knee again to go through these moves, to jump and land and whatever I did before? And that last part is the most important one because yeah, the doctor might say I'm fine, but if I don't feel confident enough to go hoop, forget all that, bro, because that can lead to another injury. So,
Mm.
and that's why I'm more than likely D Rose teammates was like, bro, I get it, sit down. And like you said before, if if Derek says he can't play, I'm backing behind what he says. So I'm not finna sit here and argue with the man if he says he can't play because I understand what I feel. I've had knee injuries, bro. That junk is not fun. You don't. I can't run as fast, like especially when you're athletic, bro. Like I don't know if I want to jump as hard, if I can cut as hard. Do I want to run as fast? Like I'll just jog this time. Do I want to? Now you thinking too much now. And so Derrick Rose' game was off athleticism. He wasn't as skilled as he is right now. So I get it, bro. Like, dude, sit out. From a guy who was athletic and had knee injuries, we here. Hey, sit out, bro.
Mm.
I'm able to have compassion and empathy for you because I went through that similar process. I ain't go that far and have a, surgery or tear my ACL or nothing, but I've had similar knee injuries to where my tendons and ligaments ain't right. And so it's like they lose that compassion and empathy because one, there is a that mindset of like basically like you almost a robot. So just throw a little ice on it and go hoop. Like nah, that's not it. And then two, they don't have the understanding that doctor says I'm clear, but I ain't feeling it right here. Nah, my
Mm.
mm. Something about it ain't feeling right, which is the most important third clearance that you got to go through, man. So I think like the old school culture and like the most fans not understanding that doctor says I'm fine. I feel kind of iffy, but mentally I don't feel confident enough all the way there yet to go back and hoop like I want to, man. So I just feel like that's another issue that not just Derrick Rose, but shoot, hoopers overall deal with, man. That's just we got to get better with that, man. I'm not saying you know it's bad, but it definitely has a lot more room for growth. I think we got better over time, and there's old school was hoop regardless, and the new school has got to be 100%. There's a middle ground there we got to get to that. Like I said, man, you 70%, your 70% is pretty good, bro. Like you in the NBA, we can use that, man. So I just feel like
Facts.
that's just another thing that we gotta think about when we're talking about humanizing the game and the players and stuff.
Facts, bro. I said definitely say the same thing. Like if he is like this man been playing this long and he feel like he can't play, he can't play. Like he know his body. And if he
Mm-hmm.
say he can't do it, I trust him. And if we wrong as fans, or fans are wrong to pressure him and make him feel like he has to play. Y'all, like, that's terrible. Like
Yeah.
for the injury that he went through. And like you said, you can play hurt. Like you know your body though. But like I said, you know your body because it's a difference between mentally not being able to play and being lazy. Like,
Yeah.
man, my ankle kind of hurt, or man, I got a little scratchy throat. Like, if I got a little sniffle, I ain't, yeah, y'all got it tonight. That nah, you don't do that to your teams, your fans, your organization. You don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You play when you can play, in my opinion. And in the NBA, they load manage and stuff. Now I understand that too, but if we talking about injuries and stuff, you play if you can play. But once you feel like in your mind and in your heart, like, man, no, I don't think I should play tonight. I don't feel like it don't feel right. My body don't feel good enough to play. Whatever. That's like perfectly acceptable. Like we got to take that for face value. Like, okay, you don't feel like you're ready? Good. The
Mm-hmm.
doctor say you clear, but if you don't feel like you're ready, that you know your body, you good.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just the bottom line, in my opinion. Like, I didn't play on turned ankles. I didn't play with hurt ribs and bruised thigh. I had thigh contusions, all type of stuff that I had to play through. That's part of it, man. It's part of the deal. But
Mm-hmm.
playing through an ACL, now that's something I hope don't nobody ever ask me to do. Cause that's gonna be the day I'm like, coach, I don't think I can do it. And I hope my coach backed me before anybody. And I feel like I put a lot of blame on Theos and them too. Like Theos should have came out and like, yeah, if he feel like he can't play, he can't play. Somebody, I feel like I don't know. Let me not jump the gun on that because I don't remember any. I just don't
Yeah.
remember anybody saying anything like that. Like Derek said, he doesn't feel comfortable playing tonight, and we stand with Derek. I don't remember nobody saying nothing like that.
Yeah.
I just feel like they kind of threw him under the bus, let him stand on the island, like. And like I said, I know the players understood. I know the players understood. Like, sure, like they played, they know. Sure, he know his body. But I just don't remember nobody, no coach, no GM or nothing, nobody podium saying, "Yeah, Derek doesn't feel good playing." He said he doesn't feel healthy. He doesn't feel 100%, whatever, and we're not gonna make him play.
Yep.
And I just don't remember nobody saying that. So I feel like that was wrong in itself. So, but that's man. That's part of that dehumanization of players. Like they are human. If they're hurt, they should not be forced to play. If they seriously hurt, if they don't feel right mentally, you can't force them to play. This ain't 2K, like you said. They're not going to come back from injury and average 30 like they did before. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like things not just gonna snap back to being the same. Like you got to give people time, and they did not give Rose that. And I hope we learn from that experience as players and as fans and the league. Like, I hope the league learn from that too, because nobody deserves to get deal like that for real, to be thrown under the bus for being injured. So I hope we learn from that one as well.
Yeah. I think the league learned, and I think they're doing better. I think players took a page out of that book to where, like, I remember, bro, how much hate this man got for saying, this happened multiple times where he just didn't come back for a while. He was like, I don't want to be one of those guys, old in my career. I can't, pick up my son and play with him. I want to be able to move and feel good and all that stuff, man. I ain't trying to be, walking with a limp or with a cane or whatever. I'm like, I get it.
Yeah,
Then you got the older guys and, old heads and like, I see my fingers all crooked and bent and stuff. You know, Kenny got the knee issues and he don't know how to walk straight, and Chuck got the hips, and I did this and this player walks with limp and all the stuff that, bruh, I get it. You did what you did, fine. You can't scrutinize this man for not wanting to be like that, especially if he's a way better player than you were. Like, why are you talking about this, bro? Like, he could retire right now, have a better resume than you did in your whole career. Like, what are we doing, bro? Like, you screwing out the man for what? Like, bro, I don't, like you said, I never met Derrick Rose, never met this man personally, don't know him. He's one of the few hoopers that has a unrivaled passion for the game. Like, you just know.
mm,
He one of them dudes where it's like a big kid out there on the court. He loves the game, bro. You can see it. Like, it was easy to see. That man wanted to be out there on the floor. Like Clay, you remember how Clay was when he couldn't hoop? He looked miserable. That man was depressed. Like he was going through it. That was Derrick Rose. I'm pretty sure that Derrick Rose in the inside. He's not as emotional. He's gonna show it as much. But I'm pretty sure that Derrick Rose, man. But he saw a bigger picture when I'm like, nah, man. Like I see how y'all walking. I ain't trying to do all that, man. But it's just putting respect on that man's name, man, and just letting him come back how he needs to come back. Because once again, he wants to play a long career. You talk about the load management and everything. Like I can't rush this injury and come back and go through this again, especially when he's been through this process multiple times. It wasn't like his first knee injury. He just like, oh, I'll come back and I'll be cool. I have multiple knee injuries, bro. Like I've had multiple surgeries on the same knee too. I'm like, nah, take your time, bro, please, because I'm tired of hearing. Not selfish, but I'm tired of hearing you getting hurt because it hurts me to know that you're getting hurt. But everybody don't think about it like that, man. It's like they just see Derrick Rose out there being slandered, hanging out on a cross by himself, and nobody's defending him. We have the power, like I said, it's Bulls organization. It's not just Tibbs, it's not just GM, it's not just president, and not just owner. It's organization. So all y'all lumped together. Like you said, I don't know exactly, but I don't remember anybody stepping out and defending that man's name. Because 9 times out of 10, Derrick Rose name, anybody in the Bulls organization name, we're not comparing who's more popular. So we hear Derrick Rose versus Tom Thibodeau, even though he is the most popular face of that, organization group. Who can take more heat? It's always gonna be Derrick. So y'all could have did more to protect that man and made him, not as villainized, especially in Chicago, bro. That's home, like that's home ground for him, man. So,
All right, that's where he from. Like that's bad, man. That's terrible.
so
But
they turned the fans on him, man, and I'm pretty sure that messed him up too. That hurt him, but got to put some more respect on that man's name and just players overall when they are going through that process of recovering from injury. Because I would keep saying, bro, it's not 2K where injury's off and I'm fine. Like let that man heal as a human being first, and then as a basketball player.
facts. That's the one. That's the one. Because he got to feel good as a person to play, like not just a basketball player. Forget basketball. Am I good running, jumping? Am I good like trying to go full speed? Like am I good trying to explode off the ground? All right, now that I done did that, I might play basketball. You know what I'm saying? I might be good enough to play basketball. I might be good enough to try to play with defense on me again, stuff like that. Like he got to heal as a person before a basketball player when it comes to serious things like that. And I done played with plenty of teammates. I got teammates now that done tore ACLs and meniscuses, everything. Should we add my boy Miguel on here?
Mm-hmm.
A while back. If y'all ain't seen this episode, y'all need to go check that out. That's an interview we did. Miguel Williams, my former JUCO teammate, broke his leg. He came back to the game, and I remember watching him. Like I remember watching him when he was like healthy enough to start, running and stuff. And he started practicing with us. He did all the non-contact stuff in practice. I would never dare tell that man he need to try to do something in game. I mean, in practice with contact. Like, so I'm just glad to see him out here. Really, like that was my whole thought process. I'm like, man, Gail in here. I'm happy. Cause we do
Mm-hmm.
non-contact drills like running layups and stuff, like 3-man weave and stuff. We doing all that. I'm like, sure, I'm just happy Gail in here for real. Like I'm happy to see him running, jumping, laying the ball up, playing basketball. But like if to be real with you, like this just being me, if I would have heard anybody try to put pressure on that man to play, I would have stepped in. I would have been like, hey, bro, no, when he ready to play, he'll play. All right. Like I'm just happy he in here. And that's how
Mm-hmm.
they should have did him. But like
Yeah.
that's my dog, that's my brother. So I'm like, I'm not gonna let you put him at risk above anything. Forget basketball, forget everything. You're not gonna put him at risk because he was hurt. That's his mental state on the line. So at the end of the day, I'm stepping in on his behalf. Like, nah, bro. When he ready to play, he can play again. And I remember telling him that on the podcast on this interview. I said, man, it would make me happy just to see you play again. But if you don't, that's what it is. Whatever you do, I'm gonna be happy long as you happy.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll be doggone somebody come here like, man, make that boy Miguel play. We need Miguel. Like, nah, bro. Miguel need Miguel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He need his legs. You know what I'm saying? Not us. He only got one more year to play in here with me. He got the rest of his life to walk around and jump and be happy and do what he want to do. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So nah, bro. Like That I feel for that because I'm like, even though it ain't me, I've been around it. I've seen enough of it. Like, nah, bro. Whenever you want to play again, bro, I'm gonna be happy you playing. If you don't ever play again, whatever you decide to do with your life, I'm gonna be happy to see you walking around being happy with yourself above everything. So, nah, you can have that.
Yeah, yeah. Like that's yeah. I think players all understand this, bro. Like players,
Mm-hmm.
this is I'm pretty sure that the players are amen court on this one. Like, yep, mm-hmm, yep. Because like you said, you either been through it or seen somebody or close enough to somebody who's been through it. And you fully understand what that means. Like the average person who's never played any sports don't understand, bro. Like it's one thing, like say you have an injury, right? Shoulder injury, elbow, whatever. You have to go rehab, therapy, whatever. And you bounce back, right? So you back to normal, just normal. Imagine having to be normal, like regular human jobs, right?
Mm,
Then you have to exceed above that. So you go like uh the average job you have, you probably at a desk or something like that, man. You don't need too much work to get back to work. You
mm.
can be 50% and perform your job. Like, okay, cool. Like we don't need